To remove the window reveal, use the Window Reveal Install and Removal tool referenced in the Aircraft Maintenance Manual. Look for the access slots in the window reveal frame at the location shown. It is important to remove the reveal clips in the correct sequence. If you do not follow the correct sequence, damage can occur to the clips. Do not disengage the bottom clips. Place the tool flat on the window. Insert the tool with the notched end into the side access slot at the middle position of the window reveal. The tool will slide into the access slot between the reveal frame and the window. Position the tool in the center of the access slot. With the tool inserted in the side access slot, pull the reveal frame edge with your fingers away from the sidewall panel while gently pushing the tool into the access slot. You should feel the reveal frame separate from the sidewall. Now move to the opposite side access slot and disengage the reveal latch from the panel clip. Once the reveal has been disengaged at the side clips, find the access slots on the top of the reveal. Using the tool, push the notched end into one of the top access slots, being careful to center the tool in the slot. The notch in the tool will allow the tool to clear the reveal panel clip. Now gently push the latch to disengage the top reveal latch. Pull the reveal frame edge from the sidewall using your fingers while gently pushing the top latch with the tool. When the reveal separates from the sidewall, it should disengage completely from the sidewall at the side and top positions. If it does not completely disengage, you may need to use the tool on the opposite top reveal latch. When the reveal separates from the sidewall, you can then lift the reveal up and inboard to remove it completely from the sidewall. Before you install the sidewall, connect the electrical connector to the Electrically Dimmable Window or EDW controller switch on the sidewall panel. It is important to make sure the gap covers are correctly installed. Check to make sure the gap covers are not out of alignment. There are 4 sidewall panel clip locations on each side of the sidewall panel. The sidewall panel installation will require 2 people. Both need to apply the same force at the same time and with the same amount of pressure. This requires good communication and coordination. Position the sidewall panel against the wall. Install the panel clips in the slots on the gap cover. Make sure the top clips are in the top slots. Then, push the panel clips to the top of the slot. This will allow the other panel clips to enter the remaining slots. Working with another person, apply even pressure to the locations as demonstrated. This will hold the 8 panel clips in the gap cover slots while the panel is moved. There should be a 2-inch gap between the top of the sidewall and the top of the gap cover. Working with another person, apply even pressure to the locations as demonstrated. Keeping equal pressure on the 8 panel clip locations, move the panel downward with the same force and pressure. When the sidewall panel is installed correctly, there should be no gap between the top of the sidewall panel and the gap cover. Once the sidewall has been installed correctly, you can now align and engage the mop sill on the mop sill enabling brackets. To begin the stowage bin installation, position and tape the snubber rods on both sides of the stowage pod as demonstrated. Turn the fittings at the end of the snubber rod to align vertically with the stowage pod. It is helpful to understand how the stowage pivot works. The pivot fitting on the stowage bin will need to be guided into the opening of the pivot fitting on the stowage pod. The pivot fitting on the stowage bin needs to have the correct angle to allow the stowage pod fitting to slide into place. Center the bin between the forward and aft side of the stowage pod. Move toward the stowage pod, being careful not to strike the stowage pod lower shelf. A slight rotation may be necessary to align the stowage bin pivot with the stowage pod pivot. Rotation of the stowage bin towards the closed position will keep the stowage bin engaged in the stowage pivot. With the stowage bin pivot engaged in the stowage pod pivot, move the stowage bin to the closed position. Open the stowage bin, making sure the stowage pivot stays engaged. Remove the tape and slide the snubber rod quick connect fitting into the stowage bin lower bracket assembly. Make sure the quick connect fitting and the lower bracket assembly are fully locked together. When removing the return air grill from the sidewall, insert an 1/8 inch Allen wrench into the clip release holes at the bottom. Keeping the Allen wrench vertical and inside of the groove, apply light pressure. Do not force the Allen wrench in too far. Note the light amount of pressure required to disengage the tab. Use only enough pressure to disengage the plastic tab. While disengaging the tab, use your fingers to pull the bottom of the grill inboard. Pull the grill down and out to complete the removal.
This video demonstrates how to close the 787 forward cargo door using the external cargo door control switch. During the closing process, do not operate in high winds. Also, continuous operation of the door can cause the hydraulic power pack to get too hot. Damage can occur to the power pack if continuous overheating occurs. Particular attention should be paid to the forward and aft pull-in hooks to ensure proper positioning of the hooks prior to closing the door. If you do not open the door according to the AMM, the pull-in hooks could come out of sequence and, upon closing, cause damage to the door latching system, making the airplane non-dispatchable. Cargo door operation requires that the door opens to the free hang position at a minimum before you can fully close the door. Door operation to or through the free hang position will reset the pull-in hooks. Before closing, do a visual check of both pull-in hooks to make sure they are in the correct position. Also, make sure that the EE panels are closed and that all personnel and equipment are clear, and that the Cargo Maintenance Display Unit, CMDU, is closed on the forward side of the door opening. To begin closing the door, hold the main cargo door control switch in the closed position and make sure the full open indicator light goes off. Note: the door will initially move upward a small amount to unlock the lift actuators if the door is in the full open position. Release the switch when the door is fully closed and latched and the amber "Ready to Lock" indicator light comes on. To lock the door, make sure that the vent door is open and then close the handle. Finally, make sure that the handle and trigger are flush with the door skin, that the vent door is closed, that the green closed and locked indicator light comes on, the Ready to Lock indicator light goes off, and then close the access panel.